Hey everybody, how y'all doing? Well, I think it's been decided 327 is going to be what the Mama Bear is going to build. And I've had a few tools out doing some stuff off camera. I'm just kind of like it. Here's the 327 pistons we're going to put in. They are Sealed Power 8423P 30 over. These were made back in 1991. These were new ones that a guy bought for his car. Never had to use them. And they are brand new. They have not been used. I've measured the block and everything yesterday. And a couple cylinders are tight to these pistons. There's a piece of paper and it suggests having 2.5 thou to 3 thousandths clearance on these. I'm tired of having the drill ripped out of my hand with my hone that I've got right now. So I'm going to load up the pistons, the block, and the rods for this motor. And then that's going to go up. And this will be honed, and I'm going to have them acid bath this. So it takes the paint and everything off it, and everything's clean, because there's been a lot of work done to this block for Mama Bear. And I used to tap these and put what they call standpipes in there, but that is kind of fading away, and for what's going to happen with this motor, who knows. But anyway, couple of things I done is right here I held and put a little chamfer here, so if you put in an aftermarket distributor that's got a seal there, it'll roll in now. And here everybody sees these. A lot of times those holes are small. Well, I took all the casting flash out, and when I was looking down here, there was a piece of casting flash stuck out. Yeah, so I took this and slid it down there and snapped it right off. I mean, this block, as I worked on it, they had some casting issues. So I started here working on that. Well, I didn't start here, that's where I ended. But I've got all the plugs out here. I got the one under the oil pressure gauge down in the rear main out. I got the one here in the front. Not all blocks are equipped with this one in the front. I done a little trick, another trick to this. The oil galley going down the center of the block now is a 1/2 inch. And I re-ran a 7/16 down the lifter bores. Then I went in and bird brushed all the lifter bores. So we're there. Yeah, I did show the work because come on. Oh yeah, I already chased the head bolts out. And now let's see what you got here. Yeah. You see all this shine right here? This block had a real porous, a real crappy casting. So I come in here with the die grinder and I cleaned that up and I radiused that all, radiused that all through here, smoothed that out. I have now enlarged the oil holes in the center 3 mains to 5/16 all the way through the oil galley. I've reworked these oil holes here. I'll show you those. So I can see. See, I've opened that up, and I've opened that one up too, so it doesn't have to make such a sharp bend. But oil, so the lifter bores have been drilled out, which actually I think all I did is just trued them up. But yeah, all that right there, and I brought it up here, so these aren't really sharp anymore. Ran that up, did that on both sides, but because that block had some nasty casting to it, so, and I'm tired of bumping my hands and getting bleeding. Some are going to contradict me doing this without line boring it. It's below the surface. I hit it with some sandpaper. That's good to go. We've polished all the surfaces. We've checked to make sure the starter bolt holes ain't cracked or nothing. And this one stayed a quarter. This one here is that, right here above the rear main, is that one if you forget it, you won't have oil pressure. And I've already tapped that, and it's ready for a galley plug to go in there when that goes together. Cleaned up all the surfaces. Somebody, when they put the soft plugs in, they used red silicone on the soft plugs. I have no idea why. If I wanted to get fancier yet, and this is where I wish it was warm outside, I would take this outside, take my angle grinder to it and clean up all this fat casting flaws and all that stuff outside, but I don't want all that floating around in here. It was bad enough die grinded in here today. But everything else has been being worked on has been protected, so so yeah, what I thought was funny is they said what I'm doing is doing what I've done in the past, and I remember that going to a 1/4 inch. Well, I ran a 1/4 inch bolt, 1/4 inch drill down those two holes, and it was already at 1/4 inch. So factory must have kind of changed that because it didn't cut anything out. But this one here, when I ran it down, they didn't drill all the way into the oil galley. There was a partial blockage there on the rear main. Well, I've looked in there with the flashlight and that now. It is a clean shot into there. There's no, I mean, it was about a half a hole. So lucky that didn't create a problem with this motor prior to this. Like I said, I want the pistons fitted, and the way I'm doing it right now is just not working for me. So Mama Bear told me to take it and get it done. Mama Bear told me to get the heads done. So Mama Bear wants to build a motor, and you know, this is where it's kind of getting to me. For what we're wrapping up into this motor, and then have to turn around and sell it. I do not understand. Well, I know how they're doing it. They're buying cheap Taiwanese pistons. They are doing the bare minimum of these motors, because I had somebody call me on the 350 last week. He's like, well, I can get a reman motor with a warranty for $1,400. I never heard back from him. I dropped the price just trying to sell that last one, and they never come back. I mean, I sat here for a few days. I know I've been absent. Things have been kind of a roller coaster for me, and messing with this block today has helped. I don't know how. I know everybody, we're becoming a cheap society. Everybody wants it, but they don't want to pay nothing for it. I hate to say that. But, I mean, my work that I've done here, rounding off these edges and cleaning all this up and then reworking the oil passages, that's time. That's work. And like I know, the pistons that came out of this were machined small. These pistons actually measure 428, 4.28. So if this block was bored at a true 30 over, I'd have 2000s clearance. The pistons that came out of here did not measure 428. They were all over. So it tells you, back in 1991, they cared about what they made. Nowadays, they just mass produce it. Oh, if it works, it works. If it don't, we'll fix it later. Sorry, that's just kind of my rant. I mean, I don't get people thinking. I got 2 things to knock out quick, and then we'll be ready for the machine shop. And that's interesting. Okay. That didn't work. Now did it? Watch this. You guys probably can't hear me right now, but we got her. And what I just found, if you want to drain your motor, watch it. Oh, look at this. Look how much mud and crud is in there. Let's see. Let's see. Yep, that one's the same way. So, yeah. Okay. But yeah. There, now there's no cam pairings, there is no plugs, there's no, right there, like I said, there again is where the hidden plug is. There's nothing in this block for the machine shop to remove now. It is completely stripped. It is ready to be honed. And that's what I got to tell them what I want to put in it for rings. Is I might go to chrome moly rings. I don't know. I want to see what the upgrade is. So, yeah, that's just so much nicer now. I mean, and I've looked around in there for other loose casting flash. And let's see. I got a new one of you guys watching me on talking to me on Facebook. I'll get back to what I was going to do. Yep, look it right here. I'll show you. Here, let me get a real flashlight. Let's see. Okay, let's turn this one off. Okay. I want to show you something here. Let's see. Get it where we can see. Okay, what do you guys see? I noticed it right now. See right there? Watch this. Oh, I need something a little smaller. Okay. Got you zoomed in too much, sorry. Look at that, that just broke right off. Any other? I mean, right up in here, I mean. So yeah, that just broke right off. Oops. Oh, yep, right up in there. Look at there. And that ain't taking much to knock off. If you've had a motor fail and you don't know why, well, right there, it could be just simple as that. There's some casting flaws. Look right there. You can see, well, you can see it right there. I'll come in here. See that? Just broke it off. So, yeah, when you're building your motors, you want to look them over real good. And there was potential engine failures of metal getting into the oil pump down in the bearings. I mean, it's crazy. And the reason I'm not sending it with the main caps is because he doesn't need the main caps. Well, maybe I will send it. I don't know. I don't know if he'll go through. Nah, I ain't going to torque plate this, so it's just going to be a normal hone. But, yeah. So there was some more casting flashing that just kicked my eye or some more. I'll get my big heavy duty screwdriver and I'll go in there and scrape all that loose. But yeah, there was potential problems. So yes, hopefully next week the 327 build will happen. I've got a list of the parts, and kid never fails. Be right back. Okay, so I got a set of reconditioned rods with aftermarket rod bolts. I got the new pistons. I've got a crank that came out of this motor that was polishable and good. We're going to have the heads. Intake I might have to pick up. I think I sold the last intake I had. I'm kind of thinking about putting a little bit of a cam in this and making a little fun motor. I just don't know. But yeah, I reworked that. Oh, I got the rear main cap to do too yet. I forgot that. I'll go in there and work that and get that opened up too, so that the oil has a nice clean flow through. And I hit these again with sandpaper, then hit them with a carb clean, and they've really cleaned up now. I would have liked to use my Scotch-Brite, but I don't have any Scotch-Brite right now. I can't find it anyway. So yeah, I don't know what kind of oil pan we're going to put on this yet. I really don't know. Got a buddy of mine trying to talk me into letting me put it in some guy's race car over towards Waterloo. I just don't know. Because doing what I've done to this oiling system and that, I'd like to run it and monitor it myself and kind of keep an eye on it. Since I've done this modification, it will get a high volume, high pressure oil pump, because I've increased the oil capacity, so it's going to take a little more pressure to push the oil through to the, but as I drilled that last night, for what I went to, it's not much difference, but the difference is now you can look straight down that bore and you've got a nice straight hole. It ain't waving at you. It's amazing how the oil galley's looking down the lifter and the main on how that waves. Now I've got a nice straight shot down the middle. So, yep. So when we get the block back, it should be a bare cast iron block. And that's the reason I won't put any acid in that hot tank or caustics, because if I do, I won't ever be able to clean aluminum in there. Now I clean aluminum, I clean this, I clean that. I guess I'll just keep using the simple green or whatever, doing it that way, but yeah. I guess tonight I need to, it's later than what I thought. Oh, and then if you're die grinding and that, make sure you got anything that's electronic that's got a magnet. Make sure I talked to Mama Bear. Kid, when the kid called, they invited us to supper. So it should be done pretty soon. And I just totally lost where I was. Sorry. Ha! Oh, well. Yeah, it's gone. I definitely forgot what I was going to tell you guys. Sorry about that. Anyway, yeah, so clean and prep and... Oh yeah, the high volume oil pump and that, because of what I've done. It'll be interesting. Oh, it was this. If you got something with a magnet in it, make sure you set it over away, because I pulled this out and right here was full of metal filings. Went down my pocket. So so that's what I was telling you. That's what went away. So yeah. So, and see, I've got a block right back behind me here. It's the same way, but I'm thinking about changing out and not using the pistons I got for that. I am seriously thinking about ordering another set of pistons and doing a whole different ball game with that, because that's a roller motor. That could be, I've got roller camshafts up on the wall that are good, and I found a set of roller lifters that I have taken completely apart, cleaned, and inspected, and they are okay. So I do have a set of roller lifters and a roller cam, and I can make a little fun little motor out of that. So Mama Bear, she's home, and kids invited us to supper, so I asked her if she'd like to go or whatever. I said I'll stop, but so yeah, the 327 is on its way to being, and I want to do a little research in my TRW book and that, and kind of, I do have a Lopi cam that we salvaged from that 327 last year, but I have no idea where the lifters are for that. And the sad thing, well, I guess I could look back in the videos. Can't remember if that was a hydraulic or if it was a mechanical lifter cam. And so I really need new glasses. Hey, basically what happens when you clean glasses, you can see. So that's some of the little tricks I do to some motors. And there's my race motors back in the day when I used to do this. I didn't have half the tools I did, but we still got in there and we cleaned this up and that. And just these little things that make a big difference sometimes. And yeah, I'm trying to, like I said, let's see, what do you guys see? Right? Yeah, there's the motor. I got a set of pistons there now, and that block there, these pistons may not fit in at the 327s because that block is bored at 27 or 28 thousandths. That's how bad the aftermarket pistons were. They fitted them, which is good for me because that means that block has very little ring ridge in it, and I get a set of proper pistons that are at 28. We can hone that to 30 or whatever, and it will be a good bore without boring it. So it's just crazy on how things can go. So I guess it is later than what I thought. It's already 6 o'clock at night. 6:11, so I guess I better pick up tools, put stuff away, and quit leaving stuff sit out. I've been bad about that the last couple of nights. I mean, last couple of days, yeah. It's got to be the weather. It's the only thing I can say is I got into a, well, I got sick towards the end of last week. And then I got into a deep funk, and it's just taken me forever to get back to going again, and I don't know why. Some things upset me. Just like the depression overtook. Which now has got me thinking, I'm glad I haven't taken in the other race motor, because now there are a few things I'm going to do to that motor. Since he is doing such a nice motor with that, I'm going to do to that now, which that's the thing. I've kind of got too many cooks projects going, but I'm getting there. It just, yeah, it's been tough. I mean, but I suppose I better put these tools away. I got sockets not on the socket rail. I got impact guns out, and well, the die grinder I just got out today, but I've still got taps laying here. This was a piece of garbage, and I happened to score some parts one time from an eBay auction, and it ended up all the parts that I needed to rebuild this was in that box. So yeah, it's been a handy little thing. I've got some air ones, but well, having an electric backup is a good thing because the air compressor's down right now. And it sounds like it's another 2 weeks before the air compressor will be here to replace it. So I gotta get back there, see if I can find the model number on that thing again. I might just go ahead and break down and get the piston kit for it and redo it. And make it not the primary air compressor. Use that other one as the primary, because that's going to be a oil bath one. Oh yeah, I've got my micrometers and dial bore gauge. I kind of slipped. Oh, and tomorrow, Monday, I will have more Vapo Rust to continue the rust cleaning on these cranks and that, to see how that's going to go. If that works out, and this crank here that we started with hasn't been turned, if that's still standard, we'll see how that cleans up and maybe see about polishing it. That would be something to take a rusty crank as that was and be able to only polish it when you're done. That would be sweet. But I'm sure it's going to need turnt, but even if it needs turnt 1010, that's going to make a usable crank again, and a very nice one at it. And I've got a 400 crank there that if that cleans up, well, yeah, that'll make a big difference. So anyway, I guess stay tuned. We're getting them lined up that I can show you guys what we're doing. Building my motors. So, see y'all later. Have a good one.